If you've ever searched for a new electric skateboard, especially if it's your first electric skateboard, you know it can be pretty daunting. There are a lot of options. Do I go belt drive? Do I go hub drive? Can I get a good board under $1,000? Well, that's why I do these reviews, to give you a chance to see these e-skates in the real world so you have more information for your decisions. So today we're going to take a look at a nice one. It's a belt-driven board from VOK Board. It's called the Pilot. Welcome back, I'm Tony, and yeah, we're going to take a look at the Pilot from VOK Board. They've been around for a while. I think I remember seeing their name a couple years ago when I first started looking at my first board. They have some nice options. The Pilot is the one that I've got right now. It's a belt-driven board. It's got plenty of power. It has good range. You got to remember, when they give you the ranges on these websites, they tested it with a guy that's 165 pounds, and he's probably not going up major hills and all that kind of stuff. They're just testing the range. So depending on your weight and stuff, you've got to kind of figure that into that. Some people like a lot of concave, some people don't. Concave is when the board kind of curves up at the sides, if you're not familiar. But yeah, concave to me locks your feet in. It helps to lock the feet in. If it's too aggressive, it can be uncomfortable for your feet, especially if you have large feet. I have a size 12 shoe, so my feet are pretty much average as far as the overhang on the board. There was a discussion in one of the e-skate groups recently where they were talking about, why do these guys have to go with all this concave? I like a flat board. Well, maybe there are people that like flat boards, and if so, you're gonna like this one. It's pretty much flat. I myself, I like a little bit of concave because I want to be able to feel like my feet are kind of, really sucked into the board, because you're going fast on these things, and it feels more secure to me. That's personal preference. But as you'll see, this one's pretty flat, so if that's what you're looking for, there you go. So we're going to take a look at the website, check out the specs on it. We're going to do a very quick lightning unboxing, and then we're going to go for a ride, come back, and wrap it all up. Let's go ahead. So apparently this board lists for $699. It's selling for $519, and that says tax included US dollars. I don't know if it's really a tactic or something like that, but a lot of companies, they'll show you that as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure every company, if you look on their website, it'll have the list price, and this is what we sell it for. They give 28 miles per hour top speed, and then it says fastest among all longboards. Well, that's a heck of a claim, and I guess it's a semantics thing, because I've got boards that'll go 35 miles an hour, but there are different boards. Maybe that's because they're AT or 2-in-1 or something like that, but okay. It says 15 to 20 miles range. At 195 pounds, I'm at least 30 pounds heavier than probably the rider that they tested it with. For me, it's about 15 to 16 miles range, and that might be because we have a lot of hills and stuff around here, but that's what I'm getting. They have a precisely calibrated ESC, adjustable brake, ergonomic remote with screen display, high quality deck, flexible yet stable truck, designed for cruising and carving. I think the deck is a little bit flexible, but trucks don't flex. I'm not saying they're wrong, but I thought I'd point that out. 105 millimeter wheels are optional, and 270 days warranty. So 270 days warranty is fantastic, because that is one of the things that is a problem with these things. You maybe get 90 days or something like that. And you hope that if something's going to be wrong with the board, it's going to happen right away, but customer service is a big deal. And they do have warehouses in the US, so that helps out, because if something's wrong, they can help you much quicker than from China. So the board comes with 90 millimeter standard wheels. You can opt to get 90 millimeter with 105 millimeter donut wheels. When they say donut wheels, they mean cloud wheels, because a donut would be on a hub. This is a belt-driven board, so not to get confused. I did opt to get those as well, the blue wheels, and I gotta tell you, I'm not a huge fan of street wheels. The street wheels that this comes with are actually not too terribly bad, but those blue cloud-like wheels, they're better. They do have an extended range version of this. This is not the extended range version of it, but if you get that one, it does come with those cloud-like wheels, the blue wheels. Free shipping and returns, all orders over $75, and if you ordered today, the estimated delivery would be July 19th through the 23rd. They're using a LiFOK ESC, and it's carefully calibrated with the motors and remote, specifically designed for this model. LiFOK is a good ESC. It's reliable, and I can tell you that they must have done some tuning with it, because this thing, it works really well. Another thing that's great about LiFOK is that when you are on a hill, if you hit the brake and leave your board sitting there, it actually breaks, it stays there, so that's kind of cool. As far as the deck, it says comfortable deck and great passing ability. The deck is designed to provide maximum comfort for slightly heavy riders with 7 layers of maple wood and 1 layer of bamboo. It is neither too soft nor too stiff, and is a complete flat deck, ensuring maximum comfort even when you're going through bumps and cracks. Comfort is a big deal, especially for heavier riders, so that's nice. I can tell you that it is very comfortable to ride. I would like to have just a little little bit of concave on there, but that's just personal preference. And the remote control is great. I actually really like that it has that hole in it so you can put your finger through there, so it's just a little bit more grip to it. As far as actual specs go, the maximum speed, 28 miles per hour. Max load on this is 265 pounds, so if you're heavier than that, this might not be for you. I really don't see any place on here that says what the battery pack is, whether it's a 12S4P or something like that, but charging time 4 to 5 hours, I can say that's accurate. 36 volt to 42 volts for the voltage, and 288 watt hours standard. It's using two 5055 belt motors, 2 times 1200 watts for that, so it is pretty powerful. Of course, I'm going to have a link down in the description if you want to check out all the specs and the website for yourself. All right, let's do that lightning unboxing. We're going to go for a ride, and then I'm going to come back and we'll wrap it all up. All right, it's a little bit windy out here, but this is the absolute first time that I've ridden this board. So let's go ahead. I think it has the push to start. It does. So we got that. Let's see. Let's turn the remote on. All right. Well, it's a good thing I checked because it's in speed 4 right off the bat. Speed 2, we'll start on that. Well, let's do that. We'll start on speed 1. Let's just see how that goes. So there's not a whole lot of free roll on this board, and my first observation is that it's pretty flat. Also, the trucks are pretty loose. So I'm going to be tightening those up. First gear. You know, I mean, look, if all you wanted to do was cruise, first gear would be fine. Let's go ahead and stop it. All right, let's at least try second gear, right? Yeah, a little bit more peppy, a lot more peppy. All right, that's full throttle. 22 kilometers per hour. 22. So let's see.
The battery's on the front.
What's that?
I said your battery's in the front on that one.
It is, yeah.
We got a gate split with a little belt, yeah.
Yeah, man. Belt drive, bro. All right, Kevin, so I'm going to put this in third gear now, okay?
You cleared it full gear?
No, I'm just testing all the gears right now. Here goes third gear. All right, so third gear. Woo. All right, third gear on this got a little bit faster, 29 kilometers per hour, and the truck's got a little bit squirrely, so I definitely got to tighten those up. All right, let's do this. We're just going to stop. I'm going to put this into fourth gear. Okay, let's see how it goes. That accelerated quickly. So I didn't even top out, and that was at about 32 kilometers per hour. I could go a lot faster, but there was a lot of torque, so that's what we were wanting to check, right? All right, so that's just a quick first ride. I'm gonna ride it a bunch more. We'll share some more of my thoughts before we wrap all this up. I always like to get my first impressions though when I first get on a board. Let's do this. We'll take this down here and try going up the hill. You know, for having street wheels on here, they're not too terribly bad. Now this is somewhat interesting because a lot of times these boards on an incline like this, they want to roll, right? But this thing, while it doesn't free roll real great, look, it just stops. So I don't know if maybe there has some kind of a passive brake system or something like that, but I mean, it's barely moved, but it pretty much stopped. All right, so I'm gonna go with speed number 3. Of course, this is the hill that I like to test on. Of course, you can't beat that view over there. And then the hill. This hill, it's somewhat long. At the top of it, it's definitely more than 30% grade. So let's see what we got. 3rd gear. All right. Okay, 3rd gear wants to start off pretty slow. So let's go ahead and put it into 4th speed. I always like to try it from a dead stop. Made it up the hill no problem, but I wasn't very smooth with letting out the accelerator, as you saw. Slightly jerky. Alright. Like I said, I'm going to ride it a bunch more, and then we'll report fully on it. After several rides on this thing, one of the most notable things is the carvability. Carvy. I do like that quite a bit, but the deck it's just really flat. So the thing is, I don't feel like I get the lock, the foot lock that I do on some of the boards with more of a concave on them. I mean, it has a little bit to it, but it's not a whole lot. There's one thing I forgot to talk about when I was upstairs on camera is that there's a couple of things that come with this that you just don't see companies send, and I think it's pretty cool. I see questions all the time about how do you clean your grip tape? Well, this right here is a grip tape cleaning scrubber type thing. And it's rubberish, and you just use that to clean off your grip tape, which that's pretty cool. I mean, you can buy these at skateboard shops and stuff like that, and then this right here is a hanger that you hang on the wall, and you can actually hang your skateboard by that. You would put the trucks in here, and it would hang off of your wall. So that's pretty cool. You know, the thing is, this is exactly like what I use for my guitars, and these right here, you just don't want to, it's a little bit too heavy to be using these kind of anchors, so I just use real screws, get into the stud. Don't use those things, but let me show you something. I've got both of these guitars hanging on the wall here, and when you check out how these are hanging, see that one, it has it going this way, so you can get it right into the stud. This one is going the opposite direction, so I think that's wider than a stud. It might be hard to actually get that thing mounted into the stud because I think those holes are wider than one. Just keep that in mind. You might want to put a block on the wall, something like that, but yeah, same thing. So there you go, $519. It's a dual motor, belt-driven board. It's got a flat deck. If that's what you're looking for, great. It's not a deal buster for me. You know, it's not a deal breaker for me. I still like the board. It would be just that much better if I had a little bit of concave to the deck. Those reverse kingpin trucks, nice and carvy. I do enjoy that. The board feels really stable. The acceleration curve on it is good. The braking on it, well, of course, you can adjust that, so that's good. This board actually looks stealth because it's just black, except for the grip tape's got a little bit of gray in it, but other than that, it's not like logo heavy and all that kind of stuff. The bottom of it just jet black. So I like that. Hey, aesthetics are important, right? Those urethane street wheels were better than I expected, but I just really enjoy that, you know, that cloud type wheel, and that's what I put on there, and that's when the board became a lot nicer for me anyways. If you get the extended range, again, those wheels come with it. If not, that's an extra purchase. So, you know, maybe if the extended range, you're going to get more range out of it, then that sounds pretty logical too. VOK Board seems like a really nice company. The people that work there are very friendly, and I don't think you're going to have any problem with service. I have done a little bit of conversation with them through email, and always very helpful. So if you're looking for your first e-skate and this looks good to you, man, you know, I don't think you could really go wrong at about $520, tax included. If you've already got like 3 AT boards and all that stuff, but you're like, yeah, I'd like to just have a little board to go cruising with, you know, something a little bit smaller than a giant AT board, well, this might be an option for you. Either way, I think it's a great value, especially for what you're getting on this VOK Board Pilot. Overall, I think the Pilot's pretty darn good. I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. It's been around since 2013. If you've been here since then, thank you so much for sticking with me. If you're new to the channel, well, thanks and welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. You'll get notifications when I upload new videos. And if you like what you see, well, give it a like. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.